Good, we're out here, second video of Motivational Manny right now. I'm going to be doing an interview with my older brother Leo right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to find out what our why is, why it is so important, significant to what we do. Remember that, alright? Our why is what unleashes that inner jungle cat. So let's go ahead and let's get it. Alright you guys, we're right here with my big brother Leo right here. Thanks for taking the time for us. No problem. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump into it on Motivation Manny. And Leo, thank you for joining us. So let's jump into it. Alright, what is your story?
Alright, so I don't want to take up all your night here because I can go on forever. So basically, here's what happened. I'm born in Mexico, 1981. When I was 8 years old, my father decided to come to the United States. So it was me and him. We came together. He came with me with aspirations of making it big, making a life for myself and him. What he didn't realize is that in the U.S., it's a hard life. You have to really hustle for what you want. And you have to go after it. So after 5 years of being in the U.S. and him being deported numerous times, he decided it was too much and he decided to go back. At that point, I made a decision that changed my life forever. And I stayed here by myself and kind of went from friend to friend. And pretty much got through high school, met these guys here, took me in. And was great till I was 18. That's pretty much my story.
Yeah, let me add to that real quick. I was maybe like 9 months old when I first met this cat. So he was at my first birthday.
Yep.
But it's a heartwarming story. You know, his book's gonna be coming out soon, so look out for that. But let's jump into it. So this whole month is based on what is our why, okay? And you know, I've explained to the viewers watching that our why has to, hit us in the core, and it's really our motivation and why we do what we do. That's why it's called our why. So, with that being said, what is your why?
My why is basically to give my kids and my family the life that I didn't have when I was young. I went through plenty of holidays and such that there was nothing to be had. There was I spent weeks in shelters for homeless people, where kids just should not be in when I was younger. So my why to me is creating time freedom through a vehicle to give my family and my children whatever they need and leave a legacy for their children as well.
I like that, a legacy, you guys. A book that we both listened to is Crush It by Gary Vaynerchuk, and he goes, profits are better than wages, but a legacy is better than money. And that's really what we emphasize here at Motivation Manny, and I really thank you for that. So with your why and creating that time freedom, going into that next level, what are your steps taken there? What does your why push for you to do?
Basically, you want to remind yourself of your why pretty much daily, because just a side note, I will be putting up a blog here in the next few days, speaking a little more in depth. But basically, whenever you do something worthwhile, and this could be anything, this could be, we're building an MLM business, but you could be, this guy's really into sports. You could be trying to be a professional athlete. You could be losing weight. Whatever it is, if your why is not strong enough, you're going to give up at the first sight of trouble. You know what? It's not worth it. I'm good with what I got going on. So you having that strong why and being reminded of it daily is going to get you through those tough times and keep on going. Because when the good times are there, you're going to want to keep going. But when there's bad times, a lot of people quit. And that's what we get in this world, quitters. And, one thing is, winners never quit, quitters never win. So that's what we got going on.
That's very true, very true. Thank you for those words, wise words right there. So you said it, you have to have a strong why in what you're doing, whether you want to be a professional athlete, a doctor, an MLM millionaire, a professional athlete, doctor, lawyer, father, son, wife, husband. This applies to everything, right?
Yes, anything.
With that being said, your strongest why affects you to your core. And as you can see, he wants to create the time freedom for the kids and for his kids and for his family. And that's really what we're doing here, and that's really what Motivational Manny does, right? But let me ask you this, Leo. with your why being so strong and so sticky to your core, how will that help other people around you?
Basically, you get beyond helping yourself. And another book that we have read, I gave it to this guy, Jim Rohn. It's actually an audiobook. It's building your network marketing business. And what he says, and this comes from a lot of different authors, if you help enough people get what they want, you'll get everything that you want. So basically, at this point, I'm trying to help other people establish or get their goals, realize their goals, because in turn, that will help me get anything that I ever want. The only difference between, when we go to conventions, you see millionaires walking across the stage and they tell you, yes, you can do it. The only difference between them and us is that they longer than we have. That's the only difference between them and us.
That's very true. Now, my camera shut off over here, so we're going to continue on this one right here. With that being said, the millionaires, they go at it for a lot longer than us. With your why and how that affects you and how it affects so many people, how do you see yourself in the future, 5 years from now? Because of your why, in the future, where will you be?
I see myself, I see my family, right now, we are, I believe for one, to get to where you want to go, you got to realize where you currently are. So that's step one, right? So right now, our situation is not great. My son, my kids have this expressed to me that we want to get a home, and that's our next level. That's our next goal to hit. So in 5 years from now, where I want to be and where I see myself is helping other individuals who want more to life. Unfortunately, in the world we live in today, there's too many people who they gave up, or they're just getting by, paycheck to paycheck, or working at a job that they hate for 40 hours a week for 40 years, and pretty soon we're not going to retire at 65. So basically, I want to take the people who want more and show them that there is a better way. Now, it's not an overnight success. It will take hard work. It will take dedication. But by doing what I'm currently doing, I'm getting enough experience to help other people. And in 5 years, I want to have 10 friends who can call me and say, you know what? Thank you for believing in me. Everything you told me was true. I can now retire my parents. I can now, whatever their financial goals are, I can now do that. And that's where I see myself in 5 years.
That's great right there. That is truly unbelievable. And the way his conviction is to what his goal is truly unbelievable. And that only pushes us closer and deeper and more centralized towards our why with this, okay? Now, before we wrap up, I want to say thank you, Leo.
No problem. Anytime, man.
And I do want to leave you guys on Motivation Manny. Thank you for watching. Let the motorcycle go. But I want to thank you guys for watching. I want to leave you with this, okay? With every single knowledge and every single bits and pieces of life he's given us and knowledge of his life, I want to leave you guys with this. I was watching a movie way back when. It's called Coach Carter. You might have heard of it, right? But one of the main characters loses his brother, right? And they're in a classroom setting on a basketball court, and the kid stands up and goes, our greatest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our greatest fear is not that we are inadequate to the sense of we are nothing. We play this world no business by being small. Our greatest fear is our greatness. Our greatest fear is our light. Who are we to say, why can't I do this? What should I do that for? I challenge you today to go ahead and change that why should I do this to why should I not do this? And that's what's really got to do it. With your why, you should be able to let your light shine, and unconsciously and unwillingly, everybody else around you will shine too. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. It's going to wrap it up on Motivation Manny for today. And thank you, Leo.
Anytime, man.
So let's go ahead and get it. Motivation Manny right here. Interview.
Let's go, baby.
Let's take it out.